Welcome, everyone. Excited for this conversation today. I am Grace Covington, business coach. I facilitate women entrepreneurs to create a thriving business while living the lifestyle of your dreams. I have a special guest today, Trina Glenn, and y'all are in for a big treat. So whatever you're doing, you're going to want to take a pause and be present for this conversation because there are some gems that are going to be dropped here. Trina is a business owner. She owns a Studio K Glam in Tampa, Florida. This woman, y'all, is a creator of magnitude. Her story, the things that she is creating, the empire that she is building. I had to take a little pause because it's that big. So Trina, introduce yourself. Let people get to know you, and then we'll dive into this conversation we're going to have today about creating the business of your dreams with ease.
With ease, correct, with ease. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me. This is just so beautiful. I'm just excited. So I'm Trina from Studio K. I have a holistic and wellness center. So I'm completely about helping my community in any way that I can through several different types of offerings here. So one of the big things about us is that we have a red door. So we say whatever you find behind the red door is going to be amazing. We guarantee it. As far as myself, I do a little bit of everything. I'm a healer first and foremost. I just love the idea and the ability to help other people heal. I do tarot. I do a lot. I'm a creator. I mean, I consider myself to be a visionary. I pretty much do whatever comes into my brain and then I make it my reality for the most part.
Yes. No, I totally love that because you have that capacity to create with ease and to actualize things with ease. So I want to share a little bit about our story, how we came together, and what you really up-leveled your life.
And no, seriously, I did. Hands down.
And I'm just like, literally, when I was looking at your social media feed, I was just scrolling. Then I happened to take a pause. I'm like, that's Trina. And I had tears because the dream and vision you had for yourself actualized.
Right.
It showed up because it wasn't there. Maybe you can tell a little bit about, some of your personal struggles and get them in the mix of that so people can really perceive the change and transformation that can happen once you say yes to
creating. Oh my God. Once you say yes to yourself, once you say yes to your dreams, it is literally magic. It is miracles will happen in your life. It is a guarantee. I was, at the time when I met Grace, I was running a day spa and it was a successful business, but it was more so me working for the people, but not really doing my passions and my love. I was able to somewhat use my craft throughout the things that I was doing because I was able to chit chat with people and help them through their things. But at the end of the day, it wasn't my passion. It wasn't what I felt like I was put on this planet to do. And I met Grace one day. She came in for a pedicure. It was a phenomenal experience. And it was just something about her that continued to draw me to her. And I said, you know what? It's just something about her. I want to talk to her. I want to reach out to her. And lo and behold, she's a business coach who ended up being my spiritual / business coach because it was an all-in-one for me. And just to kind of fast forward you forward, I was in a very low state. I was going through a separation. I wanted to transform my business. I didn't really know how I was going to do that and be successful at what my new venture, which would be the Holistic Center, would be, because I just didn't know. In all honesty, I didn't know how to make money from that. But it was my dream and I wanted to follow it. So Grace asked me a couple of questions and I'll never forget. She said, okay, so let's talk about some of those things that you're going through. And the key word that she said was, well, whatever that is, are you willing to let it go? And it was just that simple, guys. I had never in my life thought of it that way. She was just like, okay, so all of this stuff, are you willing to let it go and start all over again? And it was a yes. And from that point forward, it has been a yes. Continuously, every day, miracles are happening in my life. It's a yes on a daily basis.
Wow. I have tears. Y'all can't see them, but it's just this this conversation and some of the key things that you've said there. And your yes is powerful. You know, how I came to know you and how I found you, we were in Tampa, and I was like, I want to get my nails done. And I had stopped over to, one shop, and I was like, nah, this is not it. And then I started Googling, and then your name came up, and I was like, ooh, I looked at the service like, this is it. I'm going to say yes to this. Because at first I was like, I'm just going to go home, forget it. Because, I didn't find, but that yes was powerful. And I said, yes, I'm going to choose this. And that is the magic of your yes. Sometimes when you are creating big, you don't have to know the how to. That yes, just you saying yes. And everything that, yeah, it's, and like you said, it's literally that simple.
And it's magical. It's really, really magical, because I wish I could just say it in a way to make everybody completely understand it. The moment I said yes is the moment the transformation began to happen. It's like what they say, as soon as you take that first step, then you're on your way on your journey. And that's literally been my story. I said yes, and the rest was history.
Yeah. So how would you encourage someone who is, at the beginning phases, and they have these big dreams, but it seems impossible? Like, they don't know where to start. They know that there's something different, but they're discouraged with the bigness of the vision and not knowing where to begin.
Okay, gotcha. So acknowledging that, I think, is the most important thing. Because dream big, dream as big as you can, because it is definitely possible. Removing it not being possible or impossible, the very word itself says I'm possible. So it starts in that belief system. Once you say the yes, once you've created this idea, you decided to move forward, acknowledge the things that you just don't know how to do and get the help that you need. In my case, it was Grace. Her company helped me so much on every single level that I could think of that I would need in a idea this big. So you're not alone. Reach out and get the help that you need. It's okay.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, because you said yes on multiple levels. Yes, in investing in yourself and getting help and not doing it on your own. So, because investing sometimes is a struggle for people where they're like, I don't have the money, or they can't move beyond taking that action and having the funds, releasing them, or not having the funds. So because you've said yes to everything. I know, different parts of, the one-on-one coaching and et cetera, and other things, you were like, yes. So what is that really allows you to take that push and not make money significant?
Well, I had, in my case, because of what I want to do, and because I really believe that it's bigger than myself and that I'm really truly helping my community, then it was way, way bigger than the money aspect, because I had to, if you build it, they'll come. That was my mindset. I'm going to create something that is going to be genuine from my heart, that's divinely guided. So if you believe, because that's the key, if you believe in what you're offering, the money will show up. It always does. You just got to believe it, though.
Yep. You do. The money always shows up. It's that your choice and saying yes, because the money is going to show up to support you, and getting that, like that's a gem right there, that all you have to
mental,
say is,
though. It is 100% the mental, because what happens is we have these great ideas, and then we don't allow them to come into fruition because we only focus on the blocks and what could be or not possible. So we don't even manifest it into our lives. We just completely talk ourselves out of it.
Girl, you just hit so many golden nuggets, and I know people are taking notes, because this stuff is just so powerful, because now you get a sense that you are literally unstoppable. With your yes, you are unstoppable. So let's talk. Yeah, you truly are. Like, there's nothing that, because we buy all these lies that we can't, or it's difficult, or it's hard, but not knowing how powerful we are as creators, like just by the fact that your yes creates, that in itself.
It's beautiful. And it is that mindset. It's that belief of knowing it's going to happen. No, is money going to grow on a tree? No, it's not going to grow on a tree. But are you going to have access to it? Absolutely, because you're opening yourself up to those resources that are available to you. The help that's around you that literally wants to come into you. Just be open to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, like, throughout the coaching program when we're working together, there were so many different miracles that opened up in your life that I can remember.
So many. So again, I started the business after a 10-year success with a different business. So I literally started something new with no money. I had no money to start this because my money's already tied up elsewhere. So it was genuinely faith for me. So every time I would have a breakthrough and every time something would happen, I would just have to reach out to Grace and say, you are not going to believe this. You're not going to believe what happened to me today. I mean, people started to donate to me out of the blue, like, oh, what are you doing? You like it? They would send me a donation. I don't even know these people. But because I said that yes, because I said the yes.
Yes. And it's like there were times where I was just like blown away. I know there was one time when we were working on something. I can't remember what it was. And then after you released all of that held that in place, then you literally created this large sum of money. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was insane, actually, because I literally was at a brink where it was just like I was starting to lose hope at a certain extent. I was like, well, I don't really know. And I called her. I had my one-on-one session and she said, okay, so you ready to release it? You guys, it sounds magical, but it is. I mean, I have no other description to say it is magic because that's literally the moment I released it. Money came in, literally. Like I think it was it was definitely over $10,000 at that time. I had zero. That's no exaggeration. I had zero, but it happened.
Yeah, and so just once we release these things that are in the way, like the magic, the miracles that we have access to that have always been there, like they've never run away. It's just like you said, looking at your points of views, looking at your limitations that are holding you back. So I want people to get a sense, because like, you are powerful. And if anyone's in the Tampa area or, on these social media streets, because there is something that and when people work with you, that you facilitate that transformation, like you have a gift, like with abundance, with money. And I want women to be able to tap into that and be able to reach out and get that help, because you create in that way and you can facilitate people in that way. So let's talk about now, like what some of the things you're creating, some of the offers that you have available. I know you have some retreats coming, and I know that ultimate dream, that empire, which is going to actualize.
It's going to actualize.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, okay, gotcha. One more thing that I would like to add though before I move on is working with Grace was great because she made me actually look in the mirror and face whatever those demons were, whatever those challenges were, whatever those doubts were. So it is super, super important that you release all negativity and all doubt so that it can actually actualize. So I think that prior to all of that, that is key to it all. That is key. So, but in addition, what I offer, we are having a retreat, which is super, super excited. I'm really, really excited about that. So we're going to be in Costa Rica soon at the end of the month. I offer one-on-one healing sessions. I call them Talks with Trina. It could be tarot. It could just be me using my intuition. It could be any type of divination tool or candle or just what have you. But that's my 100% passion. And just being able to reach as many women, people, but predominantly women is my customer base, as many people as possible. So
that's and everyone that's watching this, and just to work with someone where you didn't know, like you had all these things that you wanted to create, but you didn't know how. And then to be able to move from ground zero, not having the money and not knowing where your ideas, where to start, where to begin, and then to actually actualize, create, and then now moving into this space of miracles, of creating miracles consistently and having things show up, and not just like little pennies and peanuts, but large sums of money.
Large sums. I am contracted with our city for a lot of different big events. So I do, here in Tampa, we have, for example, what's called Gasparilla, where I'm able to use my creative abilities and turn people into, special effects makeup with pirates and things like that. And then from there, so many more of those opportunities became available. One thing I would definitely like to say, like I'm, totally dual degree, magna cum laude, all of this stuff, business degree.
Yeah.
That none of that stuff mattered to me until I truly met you. Because even with all of that equipment, it was you who empowered me to take that leap, to take that next step.
Wow.
And logically, I couldn't map it out. I was like, well, I need to have X amount of dollars before I can do this. And you simply said, do you want it? Do you believe in it? Well, then just do it. And I could not fathom that. But the moment I chose to just do it, it just happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's that easy. It's that simple. It's that easy. I know when we're saying that it's that easy, sometimes, you have to go through the process, but it's about trusting the process. So let's dive into that, because a lot of that was that for you, is because when we went into the coaching, some of it was different, and you had to have a level of trust to know that, okay, I'm doing this work, but how is it going to equate to money? How is it going to equate to, me really up leveling my life? So let's dive into trusting the process.
Woo! That's the test. That's the real test, though, trusting the process. Because for me, God has spoken to me and told me exactly what it was that I needed to do. And one of those things was actually what I'm doing right now, which was to show my face, to be seen, but to most importantly, to use my voice. And when meeting Grace, she immediately knew my third chakra was blocked. She automatically knew it. She had me do like scream sessions. And I'm like, I don't want to scream. Please don't scream. I don't want to scream. Or, just like things that she mentioned, they were different. It wasn't the typical coaching for me at the time that I had been accustomed to. It was so different. But between the crystals and the oils and all the stuff that you sent my way, it just completely changed my entire everything. My everything changed.
Yeah, yeah. And you were so open to just trusting the process and not making
the process.
Yeah.
I was open to it. I said yes to it. There was doubts here and there. I will be 100% honest, but that's when your faith really has to kick in. You really have to say you trust this process, because as Grace will say, you don't know the how or how it's going to happen, but you got to believe it's going to happen. And that's the trusting of the process.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that, because you never, and it shows up in a way where you never expected. Like you're like, never.
I mean, strangers off the street just showing up, just like appearing to be a part of something that they feel as though was great for our community as well. So it literally was just believe. I mean, if I could give any tip, it would be to believe in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so powerful. And the way, like when because when we had planned to go to Tampa, it was like this energy was like, you need to go. Like it was just like this force. And, many people can call that many different things, but just saying, okay, yes, I'm going to trust that process. I don't know why the energy is so like, I need to be here and then, be directly led to you. And then me saying, because our conversation when I was getting my nails done was completely different. And then we led into the, just dropping the seed. Okay, this is what I do. And, then just leaving. I had no expectation. I wasn't coming to your store to, pitch a product or service. It was just like, I knew I had to be there. And then the words of what I said, I didn't have an because you reached out a couple weeks later, and it was just
it was just a strong gravitational pull to you. My mind just kept saying, call her, reach out to her. And at the time, I didn't even know what you really did. It was just the bomb.
Wow.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. So anyone who is stuck or who's wondering, like, what do I do next? Trina has said a couple golden points here. Trusting the process, saying yes is an opener to many miracles. Just saying yes, just choosing it. You
And
heard her
don't
say,
let duality assault you. Don't say yes today and then no tomorrow. We have to
ooh,
hold that vision. We have to stay consistent.
ooh, oof. So let's talk about the fire because, this journey is not perfect because you are going to have these different things that show up in your life. You're like, am I on the right path or what's going on here? So how do you navigate that space and still saying yes and still trusting the process?
You will have those obstacles. I mean, I'll never forget when I got ready to do my reopening of what I offer now, my
Yeah.
building flooded an hour before opening. It was literally water everywhere. And I was just like, God, like if you want me to do this, why am I flooded? Like why did this happen? And I kid you not, the people who got here early for the event, friends and family, they helped me clean up the whole place. Within that hour, when I opened the door, people walked in to just like it was perfect. So
Wow.
things happen, but you cannot. Sometimes what happens is it's a test to see, are you really ready? Do you really want it? Do you really have the stamina to do what it takes? So sometimes things will come into your world, but you have to know you will overcome them. It's just a challenge. It's just a mountain that you got to climb over, but you'll do it.
Yeah. And those things don't go away because they show up. But what starts to happen is you build these muscles where you're like, okay, so this is showing up. Okay, cool. And then you know what's required to change it. You're no longer afraid of that dark closet and when shit blows up because you have this foundation of trust and knowing and belief in yourself and believing in your magic to change things because
Correct.
we are facilitators of that, of facilitating change in our lives. It's not external; it is us that does that.
100%. And I know I'm using the word magic, and that's a little bit hocus pocus, but essentially that's what it is. We are magic, and as Grace is saying, we have that ability to manifest, to create, to bring about whatever it is that we really want in our lives. It's the same. We don't chase it; we attract it. Believe it. Make that your birthright, your inherited birthright, and then things will happen because storms will come all the time. I mean, I live in Florida. Every summer it's stormy and it's hurricane season. Even as we speak right now, it's
Right.
going to happen, but you are going to have the tools and the equipment that you need to overcome. And you have to
Yeah.
believe.
Absolutely. And I think, as Black women, there's certain different things that we go through. It's not the easiest path. It's not the easiest path, y'all. Yeah. Oh,
So,
and yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
that's a great point because being a Black woman. So in Tampa, I'm in what would be a pretty amazing location. It's downtown Tampa. So I've been in this particular location for 10 years. And in doing so, every year I will wait to see if there's going to be another person of color, another woman, anybody who even remotely looks like me show up. So it never happened. So just know that sometimes you're in this journey by yourself as a Black woman. And
Yeah.
that's okay. Be the pioneer, be the leader, and continue to hold the car away for someone else.
Exactly. And just the fact that the magic that we're talking about, it has no respect of person or color or skin. This is everything we have access to on this planet. That's a game changer. No one can no longer hold you back. No one can hold you back except yourself.
Except you. You are
Yeah.
the only person you're competing with, and you're the only person that's going to hold you back. That's just it, period. We can
Yeah.
talk about a whole lot of things about why you couldn't do it, why you can't be successful, but that is just a bunch of excuses of nothing. You can do it. You're
You
the
can't.
only one stopping you.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about judgment because a lot of people don't step up because they're afraid of the judgment that people that they will receive or judgment from family, friends, because you're kind of on the cutting edge or you're kind of being different when you make these choices. I mean, this is not like a normal thing that people choose all the time. So let's talk about that for you. Like, what has that been like?
It was super judgy for me. I feel like I was prepared for it though, just because I knew that the change, because my prior business of having day spa and dance and choreography, and I love makeup and glamorous stuff. And then
Yeah.
to move into more of a spiritual, holistic aspect, a lot of people didn't feel like I was legit or real or she's fake or she looked a little bit too young to be doing this. I mean, I got it from so many places. Her hair is not a completely natural hair. Like, I got everything you could think of. I got it. And I just never received it. I was like, I'm just going to let my light shine. My light will speak for itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
you have people who don't want to support your business because you're Black, but because you carry that magic, they can't help but cross over that color barrier because your magic they can't resist it.
Nope, they can't. And that's the importance I always feel like in being you, because that's where the magic is, where you are fully willing to be you and your gifts, to show up without the need for people to validate you, like you, or if they don't like you, cool, you don't care, but you are committed to showing up as you.
As you, 100%, 100%.
Because that's key, is you have to be you. You have to be you on this journey.
Yep. As I have grown into the space and the position more and more in the public eye, people always say, well, what do you label yourself? I said, I don't really necessarily have a label. I just do what I do. I said, but I'm a little bit of hippie. I'm a little bit of glam. I'm a little bit of this and a little bit of rap too. I'm all of the above. I think we all are. Why not? It's yin and yang. Mix it all in there,
Yes. And there's such a beauty
come as you are.
Yeah, come as you are. Because there's such a beauty in all of that. Like when you are showing up, not judging yourself, that is attractive in its sense. That makes you irresistible, because so many people judge themselves and so many people are afraid to be who they are. But here you are willing to be you. That's a natural pull in itself.
It is.
Wow.
And you're showing up for someone else who may have those same concerns, same issues, who look like you. And you are just an inspiration. It's like, okay, you could do it. I could do it. And that's what I want to be. You don't need to fit in a box or a label. Be you, but bring your gifts to the world.
Bring your gifts to the world, because that's what really changes the world. And that's my, I would say, passion for doing this work, is to see women thriving, like you living your dreams, you creating them, and really enjoying your life. Like that's what we're here to do, is to live, to thrive, to have abundance, to have wealth, to enjoy the essence of whatever life is for you.
And it happens quickly too. When you make that choice, it happens really quick, because I think we worked together for a little bit over a year, but within that time span, literally my whole life transformed. Everything. It was a death and rebirth. So much died and so much beauty came to life.
Yeah. And it's amazing, like the vision and clarity that starts to come through, like, and then you see it, and then you're just like moving through it and choosing 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 it. Wow.
And it's a ripple effect, because it's not just, we're talking about our career, but it's not just the beauty of your career. It's the beauty of self. It's the beauty of family. It's the appreciation of people around you. Because once you let the joy in and you choose the yes, everything around you changes and everything gets better, not just your business. Everything gets better.
Yes. So let's talk about that. Like, how has this impacted your family, your kids? Like, what has that like created?
Well, for starters, taking the worry and fear out of my life has allowed me to live life, because I was in a very self-imposed prison. I was caught up in my mind and I couldn't stop thinking about the what ifs, the what might be, just a lot of worry. So since that time, fast forward, I have more time with my family. I don't stress about a lot of those small things that just was happening in my life. I realized those are just small things. It's just so much joy out here. So my family sees the difference in me. My especially my children, they love it.
Yeah, I'm sure, because I know kids pick up so much on our energy, and they can start to lean into things that are not even theirs. And so it's just the impact that this has, not only on your life, but also theirs. So what else, Trina, what else would you like to share? I know the energies are kind of like.
Well, I would probably say you can do it by yourself. For me, in my case, it was a Lone Ranger situation, just because of the field that I decided to go in. So being raised Christian, a lot of people in my family they just didn't get it. Of course, the kids are like, I don't know, mom tripping, she crazy. Friends, they're like, What are you doing? You have this successful business. Why are you going to do a transformation to something that you don't even really, like it was just a lot. So I felt very alone in the process. So I will say sometimes you do have to do it by yourself. You have people like Grace, and she was my go-to, who are there
Yeah.
for you. So just know that sometimes that it's the people in your circle who may not be as supportive of you, and that is okay. Just keep going. They'll figure it out after a while.
Yeah, they will. They'll catch on, and that's being the leader in your life, and that
Right.
you have the power to change every energy around you, and people can move in. So the energy is kind of pinging around conversation around money, because I know money is a big topic for people. Money can be a pain, can be a joy. So let's talk about that in the space of abundance and having, and no longer chasing money. So, what has that facilitated for you?
Exactly what you said. I no longer chase it. It is just
Yeah.
something that I attract. I am so grateful. I feel so incredibly blessed. I wake up every day with something new happening in my world that's literally bringing me money. And I mean, one of the reasons why I was also afraid to do this business again, like I said, is because I was already making money. I was comfortable where I was, but it was the comfort zone that kept me in that prison. So the moment that I stepped out on faith and I decided to do this, then it's just like more money than I could have ever imagined started to flow in. So money is it's I always call myself a money magnet anyway, because I feel like I just kind of run in that energy of abundance. Most of us as women do. So
Yeah.
it's easily drawn to me, and I would just say keep going because the money is there. There is no such thing as there's not enough money. There is so much that you don't even have enough time to spend.
Exactly. Exactly. And I love that whole vibe, because it is changing your mind frame, that you live in this infinite world and you have infinite access to all of these resources available for you, set aside for you, and it's just choosing them. So if people want to work with you, like in person, can they come to Studio K? Are you still doing um,
Absolutely. I would love that. I love in person a lot, just because I like to be with the people. I really like hands-on, touchy-feely type of person. But I do offer virtual as well. I do a lot of workshops, empowerment workshops for our community within the building. So I would love to have you all come down and join. And if not, we can make this happen virtually. Absolutely.
I saw that last one. I think it was the full moon.
It's the full moon. Yeah, we did a full moon, full double moon.
Ooh,
It was a beautiful energy. We had people out. We were releasing those things that no longer serve us, and it was yummy.
yeah, I saw those pictures and I was like, wow, I wish I was close, but I'm coming, girl. I'm coming to Tampa. I'm gonna.
Well, I travel. That's the thing. I do travel. I
Oh
will come
yes.
to a city near you. All you need to do is, if you
Nice.
have people who you think would benefit from me, we can put it together.
Wonderful. And I know you also have retreats coming up too
I
that
do.
you're facilitating.
I do. So our next one that is going to be open to the public is going to be in March, and it's a retreat in Jamaica.
Woo!
And
That's
we're titling that retreat Mask Off, because
um,
really it's time to take them.
it's time
Reveal
to take.
your true self, reveal your truth. It's okay. Take the mask off.
Yes. So if people want to find you, I will have in the description, but you can also say it, because I know some people like to be writing right
So
away.
as far as my phone number is the best way to reach me. Honestly, I'm still very old school. So it's
Mhm.
813-850-3430, or you are welcome to DM me on Instagram, which is Studio K Glam, as well
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Perfect. I'll definitely have all of that, y'all, in the notes. If you are looking to change your life, transform it, definitely invest in yourself, tap into these resources of what's available for you and what you can truly choose. I know just working with Trina and her committing to that process, it's just like, it's amazing. It's freaking amazing. Don't hold yourself hostage.
Listen, do not hold yourself back. And I think a lot of us do build those self-imposed prisons. It's a mental prison. Get out of it. You have your own key. You are the key. Get out of it.
Yeah. So as we start to wrap this up, Trina, any last words that you want to put out there? Like, what would you like to contribute?
Ah, so last words would be I pray that everybody who is a part of this, who is either watching it now or will watch this in the future, I pray for your peace. I pray for your ability. I pray for your courage and your strength to know that you can do this. Sincerely from my heart, because the light in me definitely sees the light in you. So I want to just give you that as a gift or as an offering. And like I said, I'm here in the area. If you are in the area or you're going to visit, definitely come. Let's do some one-on-ones with one another. But my gift right now would be strength, peace, joy, just choosing you.
Wow. No, thank you so much for that gift. I felt that. Thank you for that contribution. And so, y'all, this is a testament that you can create your reality. Sometimes when I say this, people think that, it's just woo woo and how, just cloud nine stuff, not real. This is real. You can create your reality.
It's real. It's real. I even manifested my car without even I didn't even know how I was going to get the car. I remember I came to see you in Miami and I had rented a car that I really fell in love with. And I said, I'm going to get this car. I had no idea, y'all, how I was going to get that car, but I got that car.
And you sure drove up. Wow. So, y'all, this is literally your choice. You have a choice. If you're stuck, invest in yourself, get the help. It just makes the process super easy and quick for you. Trina, it has been such a joy to have you here and just really excited for your path, really excited for your future and what you're creating. And thank you for saying yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, because your yes is changing the world and all the people, the legacy that you're creating, everything that you're facilitating. Thank you so much for being you and for being on this planet.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please choose Grace. That's all I can say. Just choose her and you will not regret it. I promise.
Thank you so much, Trina. And just the beauty and the gift of you, there's no, as you can see, there's no competition. We're not like competing like, oh, it's just like, we are here to contribute to you. We're here to contribute to each other, uplift each other. And that's the beauty. That's what I want to see more of in the world, because sometimes you don't see that enough, where it's like, hey, I'm going to contribute to your business. I want to support you. I want to see you win. I want to see you thrive. Whatever, I can contribute, I will contribute. And just that. So thank you for being that, because that's something I've always desired in my life, is to have that, amongst women, where I know that, you have my back, I have your back, and we're just truly here to contribute to one another. Wow.
Absolutely. And that's powerful. I mean, we always look at the men who run the world, but it's truly, what's the saying behind every great man is a woman? But we are literally at that forefront, and we need to know that. And as we unite and we hold each other's hands or hold each other's back, know your power, know your strength, know that you're capable.
Yeah. And not diminishing yourself, like not showing up in your, like, you're not good enough, or
Correct.
Yeah. Just coming together, women coming together in their power, not afraid to be bold and beautiful and powerful. That is, So just one thing, because this, I always like following the energy on this, and I know that you can really speak to this with people who struggle with not loving themselves or not feeling they're good enough. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I know that's going to be a gift. I know a lot of women struggle in that space.
So I was a woman who didn't even know I wasn't loving myself. I had to realize that I wasn't loving myself, because I had been taught and trained and believed that as long as you got your hair done or maybe visit a spa every once in a while, that was you taking care of yourself. I wasn't taking care of myself. I didn't even know that I was worthy of love at the time. So it's more than just knowing that you're not enough. You need to know that you are worthy of love. And that's your right. So once you get that self-love and that self-care and that self-respect and that mindset that you are good enough,
yes,
there is no limit from that point. But you got to get there. And that's why I'll continue to say it starts in that mindset, because it is so easy to say you don't deserve it, because I didn't even know I wasn't deserving it. I didn't know I wasn't receiving it. I had to do some self-evaluation. And once
Yeah.
I got to that point, I was like, I deserve it. Why not?
Oh,
Choose better. Choose better for you.
yes. Yes, like you said, choose better. There is more available and more than enough available for everyone. Trina, it's been a gift. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for showing up. You know, this is such,
Absolutely.
you are just
Absolutely.
vibing this beautiful energy. And thank you for stepping into it.
Thank you.
For stepping into it because, oh,
It's more to
thank
come. I'm
you.
not done yet. We keep it going. This is still happening.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trina.
Bye. Thank you.